And this was one of the most beautifulest things I've learned about Islam. That it doesn't alienate no particular race. This is a religion for all mankind. All mankind. So I guess at this point we could probably get into some questions and answers. And basically I want to leave a few more reminders before I conclude that and we start the Q&A. Is that definitely for the brothers, you know, and I'm seeing this a lot on my travels, is that we have to stop compromising ourselves to fit into society. You know, because what's in your heart should show openly. And I know sometimes we're in certain environments where we feel like we might have to dumb down a little bit. Trust me, I'll be on a plane sometime and I had to pray. You know, I remember the last time when I was flying from UK, I was sitting there and I'm just kind of like, man, I do not want this big dude like from Arkansas. He might just dive on me or something. I'm like, man. So I just tapped him and said, listen, I'm about to pray. Don't pay me no mind. I just went right to talk business. Now I know you're probably trying to reply to what I said. It was just too late. Like I said what I had to say, man. Just like, you know, after you get past Al-Fati, it's like, then you start picking your long swords. It's like, okay, cool. You know, nobody dove on me yet. Nobody panicked. Until you tie sling this way, then you tie sling this way, and there's like this scary old lady, she's looking like... And these things will, you know, alhamdulillah, these things will make you feel like, you know what, I'm just going to wait till I land, and I'm going to combine my prayers, you know. But if you don't have a worthy excuse, you got to pray, right there. You have to pray. And you already know that Allah commanded us as men to lower our gaze. And it's not just a situation in regards to just your eyes. Sometimes you have to be considerate of the sisters' feelings too. Some of you brothers is working out and y'all throw on these tight shirts, man. Y'all think the sisters ain't got feelings too. You know what I mean? They're human. They're very much human. You know, even though I'm with some sisters, you know, workout dude, captain of the team. You know? These are things that we have to be mindful of because, like I said, you never know who's watching, you know. And people always ask me questions like, yo, what happens if, you know, you ever gave dawah to, like, you know, Diddy or one of them, this and that? And I always say to myself, wallahi, if any of these brothers in the industry were to accept Islam and see some of the conditions of the Muslim today, some of them might not be strong enough to stick around like you. You know, it's another thing we have to be mindful of. Alhamdulillah, you know, the brother Mutar Bill, I don't know if y'all familiar with my brother Mutar Bill, was a time me and him couldn't share space. We was in the same room a couple of years ago. We'd be sliding all over the place. Mike would just be in. Just all kinds of like ruckus. We would be in fighting. And Allah brought our hearts together. Who's Mutar? Mutar Bill, I'm sorry, is Napoleon. They used to be down with the Outlaws, Tupac. I was down with Bad Boy, Diddy. They have history, they did not get along. You know what I mean? And it's like, I wasn't even on Bad Boy at the time all these things were happening, but the Outlaws still had this bitterness towards anybody that was on Bad Boy, so that was the nature of our indifference. But see, Allah brings hearts together. And I remember the first time I seen Mutar, we did a talk in Queens, and I just remember being so happy to see him. This is a brother I want to talk to, I want to say nothing to. I probably would have just started getting my watch off and just go right to business, you know, and vice versa. And all these things I'm trying to explain to you is like, this is what I was exposed to. So it was a fair trade for me. It wasn't hard for me to sacrifice everything and accept a true religion that grants me simplicity and grants me the opportunity to communicate with my Creator, not just 5 times a day, all through the day. And by making that sacrifice, Allah replaced everything. I still travel the world. I still get to stand amongst the audience of my peers. I'm still able to maintain some of the luxuries in my life by Allah's permission. And this is the benefit of making that sacrifice. This was the benefit of submitting. something that we all, you know, and I'm speaking for myself first, we all need to do. But I still have shortcomings. I'm not sitting up here talking about I'm super Muslim. No way. You know? But as a ummah, we must be mindful of these things, and we must support one another in bettering ourselves and making dua. You know, I make dua all the time. I always ask Allah to make me better than the way y'all see me. Because I don't know how y'all see me. I'm just a slave of Allah, no different from anybody else. And dire need of His mercy every day. And this is something that, you know, I fear losing. So for those of y'all, brothers and sisters who are born Muslims, and something that I've also learned on my journey and my travel, is that being born a Muslim, most of the things you learn initially comes from your household. You know, you pray like your dad, you recite like your dad, you know, some of y'all ain't look like your dad. You know? And this is your education in your household. But sometimes with being taught all those things from a physical example, you neglect the kitab. You neglect the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Because you were born and raised to know the dua, the bismillah over your food and all these things, so you fail to, you know, embrace the kitab. Now me as a revert, and most reverts, and y'all know this, a lot of them, because they get cold feet when they have that feeling in their heart that this could be the truth, this could be the haq. So what they'll do is go study. They'll go study the deen first before they accept it. So when they do convert or they do accept Islam, they come into the deen with some kind of understanding based on what's legislated, not the physical example. And in our case, the physical example is what gets in the way. We start seeing things that ain't in the book. Like, why is he doing that? They ain't say that in the hadith. That's bid'ah. You know what I'm saying? And we become very zealous with this information. We become very zealous with this knowledge. We start to really just be very protective of it. We just, anything that we see that seems like it's, you know, affecting the kitab or the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, we just be like, nah, that's not what the Salaf did. That don't look right. That looks weird, you know? So this is this perpetual door that we going through. At some point, somebody has to now notice these things and address them. So on that note, you know, I ran my mouth like the brother said I could. Now y'all have an opportunity to run y'all mouth, and I'm gonna answer as many questions as I can, inshallah, with Allah's permission. And everything that I said that was good or beneficial is definitely from Allah Azza wa Jal. And anything that I said that was wrong or harmful is from me and the shaitan. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. And my non-brothers, my non-Muslim brothers and sisters. What up, Sean?
There's the mics on the sides that people can walk up to and ask their questions, any questions that they have.
It's got bubbles. It's supposed to be flat, right?
That's what everybody wanted.
Oh, this Irvine tap. Can't wait. I said Bismillah twice. If y'all get bashful on me, I'm gonna go at you. Yeah, you sit in the front, you in the danger zone. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. That brother smiled, mashallah. I told you, I used to think I would have to die to see somebody smile like that. That's what I did. I told you I'm dangerous, y'all better.
So, as a convert to Islam, what would you, as all religions like claim to have like the Word of God or in their books and whatnot, so what stood out to you in the Quran that like kind of made you like reaffirm your belief that, oh, I made the right decision? Like, is there any verse or is there anything that Allah has said to you that just kind of stood out?
That's a great question. Y'all heard the question, everybody? All right, what stood out to me, like I said, I am a writer. Most of y'all in school, y'all know the format for writing. You have a setting, you have a body, you have a conclusion. Most books, most stories, they have this formula. When I read the Quran, I knew that a man could not write this because there was no setup. Allah didn't have to get you warmed up before He hit you with the truth. Every ayat in the Quran is so explicit. Sort of like the first commandment in the Bible. I'll give you an example of explicitness for the non-Muslims. First